Day told her, "You won't survive 30 seconds in there." She didn't argue, she didn't shout. She just walked in and made every soldier watching question everything they believed about the limits of human potential. This isn't just a story. It's a testament to what happens when one person refuses to accept the word impossible. This all went down at Black Ridge, a name whispered with a mix of dread and respect among elite military circles. Black Ridge isn't your typical training facility. It's home to the Crucible, a live-fire maze that reconfigures itself in real time. It's a three-dimensional nightmare of rotating steel walls, pressure-sensitive floor panels, and AI-controlled turrets. For years, the record for crossing the Crucible was held by a 6-person fire team in full tactical armor, and it took them over an hour with heavy casualties, even in a simulation. The facility's motto is carved into the concrete archway at the entrance. Here, failure is fatal. And on this day, they meant it literally. The call came in over a panicked comms channel. A young scout, Private Miller, was trapped deep inside. He'd been sent in to map a newly configured sector when a system malfunction sealed the entry and exit points, trapping him in what the trainers called the blender, a section where the walls moved fastest and the turret density was highest. His comms went dead. The extraction drone they sent in was shredded by crossfire within seconds, too. The commander, a man forged in the fires of a dozen conflicts, stared at the heat signatures on the monitor, his face grim. He switched off the comms to the observation deck and said the one thing no soldier ever wants to hear: he's gone. It's impossible to get him out. The room fell into a heavy, defeated silence. But from the back of the room, a quiet voice cut through the tension. "Not for me." Turned, standing there was Specialist Eva Rostova. She wasn't a frontline operator. She was a signals intelligence analyst. Small in stature, unassuming, the kind of person you'd overlook in a crowd of hardened soldiers. She wasn't wearing armor, just her standard fatigues. The commander looked at her, a mix of disbelief and pity in his eyes. "Specialist, you're a tech. You haven't run a live-fire op in 5 years. You go in there, you won't last 30 seconds. Eva just met his gaze and held it. "With all due respect, sir," she said calmly, "you're trying to solve the problem with muscle. This is a problem of patterns, a data problem. Let me go." The commander hesitated. Sending her in was a death sentence. But doing nothing was also a death sentence for Miller. He looked at the faces of the other soldiers, saw their despair, and then looked back at the unshakable confidence in Ava's eyes. It wasn't arrogance, it was certainty. He gave a single sharp nod. "The maze is yours." As she walked toward the entrance, a hush fell over the entire base. Every screen in every room was tuned to her biomonitor feed and the maze schematics. They expected her to gear up, to ask for a weapon, for armor, for something. She asked for only one thing: 5 minutes with the maze's raw data logs from the past 72 hours. She sat at a terminal, her eyes scanning lines of code and sensor readouts that looked like gibberish to everyone else. To her, it was a symphony. She was absorbing the rhythm of the machine, the timing of the wall rotations, the blind spots of the sensors, the cooldown period of the turrets. She wasn't just looking at a maze, she was reading its mind. Then, she stood up, took a deep breath, and walked toward the massive steel door. No weapon, no armor, just the knowledge she had uploaded into her brain. The door hissed open, and she stepped inside. For a moment, she stood perfectly still, just listening. The soldiers watching held their breath. On the monitors, they saw her heart rate, a steady 72 beats per minute, calmer than most of them were just standing in the control room. And then she moved. It wasn't a sprint, it was a flow. She moved like a ghost, a phantom in the machine. A wall of steel, weighing several tons, slid shut just a fraction of a second after she passed through the gap. A volley of turret fire erupted, chewing up the spot where she had been standing an instant before. She didn't dodge, she simply wasn't there. She moved with the rhythm of the maze, becoming part of its deadly dance. She slid under sweeping laser tripwires, vaulted over pressure plates with impossible grace, and used the echoes of gunfire to mask the sound of her own footsteps. To the soldiers watching, it looked like a miracle. To Eva, it was just math. Deeper and deeper she went, into the heart of the blender. This was where the patterns were most chaotic, designed to be unsolvable. But Eva had seen something no one else had. a flaw in the randomization algorithm. A tiny, predictable loop that repeated every 90 seconds. She exploited it perfectly, navigating the storm of steel and lead as if she were taking a walk in the park. Finally, she reached the core chamber where Private Miller was huddled, wounded, and terrified. He looked up, his eyes wide with shock. How did you even find me?" he whispered, his voice hoarse. His comms were dead, his locator beacon fried. He was invisible. Eva simply knelt beside him and held up the blackened, cracked battery from his radio. "It's still emitting a faint thermal signature," she explained softly. Barely a whisper, but a whisper is all you need if you know how to listen. Shahad tracked him through a labyrinth of lethal traps using a heat signature, smaller than a candle flame from 100 meters away. It was a technique so advanced, it wasn't even in the training manuals. Now came the hard part: getting out. Miller's leg was injured. He couldn't move with the speed and precision she could, so Eva adapted. She created a diversion, deliberately tripping a non-lethal sensor in a distant corridor. The maze's AI diverted resources to investigate the anomaly. She created a 45-second safe path for them to move through the blender. It was a high-stakes gamble, manipulating a multi-million-dollar killing machine with its own logic. As they emerged from the maze entrance, the blinding sunlight hit their faces. Every single soldier on the base was there, lining the walkway, standing in silence. There were no cheers, no applause. Just a profound, stunned silence. The kind of silence that follows an event that fundamentally changes your perception of reality. They had just watched a ghost dance through hell and bring someone back. The commander walked up to her, his face unreadable. He looked at her, then at the exhausted but alive Private Miller, leaning on her for support. He looked back at Eva, at the woman who had defied every odd, every expert, every law of probability. He shook his head slowly, a look of pure awe on his face. "Ristova," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You're not human." He paused, and a small smile touched his lips. "Your hope." In that moment, everyone at Black Ridge understood. True strength isn't always about the size of your weapon or the thickness of your armor. Sometimes, it's about the quiet courage to see a path where others only see a wall. It's the belief that no one gets left behind. If you believe that bravery often speaks the loudest in silence, and that the human spirit is the most powerful force on earth, hit that like button. And subscribe for more true stories of the heroes who never ever step back. Thanks for watching.